You start walking up to him. As you stop, you still see the guy with his hands open wide. He's wrinkly skin, and he's just standing still. A little bit like a sunburned back. And he's just pale, like all up front, and his mouth is open. And he's holding his hands up, like straight up to the sky. You look behind him, through the woods, you notice 5 others doing the same thing. Different types of people and different types of humans all standing there. Just minimal gardening with their hands in the sky.
I'm wondering if these guys are being forced to do this.
You hear Jenny go, oh! That she kind of covers her mouth real quick. There's a body, like, mutilated in the ground over in the grass. And she points off, Tanak, come back. And sure enough, you see a body. It looks ripped open. Talmar goes, I've never seen anything like this.
Do we want to try to get involved, or should we just get out of here?
Down goes, I think the one on the ground over there was the one that got involved. Draina goes, yeah, Tanak, I don't know about this. This is a little scary.
But what if they're forced to do that? What if that was you?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
Would you want to be in a position where you're forced to be in a situation, Draina?
Talmar goes, Tanak has a point. Past these 5 people, there's a small opening. There's a structure towards there. It looks like a stone structure. If we can get towards that structure, we may be able to get to the bottom of this. Down goes, or we could end up with Barry over there on the ground. And he goes, I don't want to end up like Barry. Down starts giggling. He goes, it really looks like they're playing catch. It does. Johnny goes, Tanak, the one that you're just looking at, his hands are down now. And he's looking towards this direction. As you see his head kind of cocks. As you hear him walking faster and faster. You hear a heavy snap of twigs. You hear downfall behind Draina. As Draina goes, Dallin! As he falls, starts falling backwards. The one figure starts bolting and running right towards Talmar.
Open up my hands. Magic missile. Boom!
And as you pull up both your hands, hold them close together, as you feel energy and magic through the top of your head, and you bolt out of your hands.
4d6s.
A huge green crystal-like forms in between both of your hands. It shoots out of you. You feel your whole body bolt backwards, hits directly in his chest. It blasts. You see the front part of his skin blast open, and you see his ribcage exposed. He gives a gurgling noise. He hits the ground. Talmar goes, I think you got him, but you look over towards the 5 other characters. Where all their hands drop, their heads turn towards you. And you hear down go run off. Draina goes, oh, Jesus! Looking over to you, she goes, oh, what are we doing, guys? You see all 5 of them will rush towards you guys. Talmar goes, we can't run because they're too fast. Because we have to sit and fight. Take lead. He goes, I'll hit the first 2. Tanak, you stay on my left. Because Draina, you stay on my right. Talmar, in full plate mail, his longsword smashes into the first one. His long dagger hits the other one. Bolt past him to kind of curl around to attack downward from behind. But you catch the one in front of you as you hear Draina enter combat too. She starts swinging.
Oh, 18. Yeah, he's hit pretty hard. 13.
You swing as you take his whole left arm, lop it off, and you smash into him hard. You hear the bone crack beneath your sword. And you take it right off. You don't see blood come out at all. Draina impales the other one in front of her. The one you just hit, you swing at it again.
Yeah,
19. Nice shot. You swing as you hit him towards the side of the neck.
Same thing, 13 again.
You actually crack through the spine as you see that his head kind of whip back, starting to fall off. As you kick the rest of its body off, it just falls and hits the ground. And Draina kills the other one. Alright, looks like all 5 of them drop. Down comes up behind you guys, shaking his head. What the hell?
Dallin, do you want to go back and go get Poon and the others?
I'll go back. Down starts taking off. You guys are pushing through the woods. Sure enough, you guys make it up towards this rock temple.
Gather information on it.
Do a check.
That's it.
Alright, you look around the structure. You're like, I'm not really sure what would have done this as Talmar is walking around it.
Any languages on it?
I don't really know. It goes up like a small pier. 2 heavy stone doors at the front of it. Draina follows you guys up to it. She looks off towards the woods. He walks up towards the front of the doors.
Oh, so we went from towers to pyramids.
As Draina goes, and boats.
Yes, from horses. Yeah, I can see where you're going there.
She goes, and you went to a griffin.
Yeah. Do you want to see if you can get that door open?
She goes, let's see what I can do. She walks over towards the door. She looks off towards the east as you start to hear some noises. And sure enough, you see about 3 more. They're standing there with their hands up in the woods. As you hear a heavy rock smash behind you. As you kind of jump, looks like the three put their hands down and look over towards your direction. Talmor pulls up his long sword and his dagger. She starts trying to wedge the door open. You see the one running right towards you is
13, got it. Ooh, 14.
you swing and you hit it hard. You stop it from a straight run. As you pull your sword out of its gut, it swings towards you, and it looks like his one's just smashed into your armor. As you see, he's just growling at you as you go and swing at him. You swing wildly towards him over top of his head, and you lose your footing as your blade flings off at rolling a 1 towards the actual temple. You roll a 20-sider.
2.
Your sword goes, sticks out the top of the door. Draina ducks. She goes, "What the hell?" So you fall on the ground now. As this thing then falls right on top of you. It doesn't do any damage to you yet, but it's still trying to dig through your armor. It's really, oh god!
Pull out a dagger, go.
Eight. Shove the dagger right in its eye, push its head back, and you roll on top of it. You grab your dagger out as Talmor helps you stand up. You alright, Tanik?
But yeah, he had
A little slippery one, huh?
he had the ability to disarm.
You start making your way over towards Draina. She threw his sword at me! As you pull your sword at the top. It's quite stuck in there. You sheathe it real quick. You see the two heavy doors.
13.
Alright. As you grab the rock door, you start to pull on it. Talmor comes over. Stone door finally opens. Off in the distance, on the island, you hear a blast of fire kind of going off. It sounds like spells just going off in the woods like crazy. As all three of you guys stop, as you guys kind of jolt a little bit, looking off towards the woods.
I'm guessing that's probably Poon.
Draina goes, "You could be right. Should we go through here, or should we go forward to help them?"
We open this up. We don't want anything coming out from behind us. Let's go down and see what's going on.
She's alright. As it doesn't look like there's a lot of dust or cobwebs or anything. It looks pretty fresh.
Is it dark?
Yes.
So I'll go before them and I'll start scanning the room.
Okay.
Using my elven
As
sight.
you kind of put your hand on Draina's shoulder, she stops. As you start kind of walking past her a little bit, you can actually see the hallway. It looks kind of freshly built in ways. It goes straight ahead, and it looks like there's a top of a ladder right there going down. You see Talmor goes, "I'll wait by the door."
Start walking towards the ladder.
You start looking downward as you hear different type of noises down there. It sounds like kind of gurgling and stuff. It looks like a square room.
Pull the ladder up.
You start pulling the ladder up. Eventually, the ladder is so long that it actually kind of hits the ceiling. It's kind of wedged down there in a way.
Yep.
As Draina comes up behind you.
But let's just keep this ladder up over here. See what the others are doing.
You start
over
shimmying the ladder to where it's kind of notched and it's stuck up there. And she goes, "Yeah, that's a good idea." You guys start walking towards the back of Talmor.
Let's go collect our group, or we even go further.
You guys walk out towards the east. You actually see fire kind of going off and just blasts.
We'll start heading down that way.
Alright, Talmor's kind of behind you guys wearing a full plate. You and Draina enter the woods pretty quickly as you jump over dead logs and start pushing away small branches and trees and bushes. You guys see about 4 of these creatures. They're ahead of you guys, and you guys are running behind them as you see they're just taking off. There's a guy wearing some kind of shimmering gold lace cloak. He's got both his hands out. His fire keeps igniting and shooting off. It's hitting these creatures coming into him. There's about a good 6 or 7 of them running out right behind him as well. He's spinning and shooting as much as he possibly can.
Let's engage!
The first one, you smash into the back of him.
16. 10.
Your blade hits true to the back of the creature as you kick his back of his knee, so he falls over after your smash. He hits the ground, you swing again, having the advantage.
And then 12.
Yep, you swing again as you take its head off. As you see, Draina kicks the one in front of her. She impales it on the ground. It's gurgling and going crazy. 3 of them on top of the guy that's shooting the magic out of his hands. Completely just jump down on top of him and start tackling. 2 other ones are running in towards him.
3, are they in distance of casting a spell?
You're going to do more damage hitting them, but you may catch him with a little bit of fire also.
Yeah, I'll do it. Burning hands.
Alrighty. As you stop, you sheathe your sword really quickly. As you utter words, you put your palms, your hands together. As you rip them open, as you see and hear a blast of fire blast from both your palms out straight ahead of you. Fire rages out in front of you. It affects the three that are running towards the caster, as well as the caster. Flame hits them as their hair sets up on fire instantly. The cloak of the magic user catches on fire, but looks like the cloak flips over and pats it out as it covers him. He's on the ground. The three on fire are still attacking him. Drina runs over and tackles one down on the ground. You go to the other one.
13.
You swing as hard as you can. As you hit to the mid-body, you hear it crack open. Some bone matter fling out in front of your blade as it kind of shoots off and hits some of the trees. As you bring your sword back up again and see the creature is still digging down towards him. As you hear a heavy roar go off, Drina stops and points off towards the woods. Tanik, what is that? You see this one huge 10-foot ogre type of body. Same like pale color to it. Its eyes kind of bulging out of its head. It starts stomping forward towards you guys. It has a one-edged axe, real heavy axe, as it like lumbers towards you guys. Pretty darn close too. Talmar eventually catches up to you guys. You look off towards this one ogre. You see it comes right down towards you. Talmar is still trying to get in front of you to help.
And this man?
Trying to get up on his feet right now. Drina jumps over towards him and starts holding him up underneath his arm. The mage kind of pushes her off. You look over towards the mage like, what the heck is he doing? You see this ogre.
I'm just reaching one of the bottles that Steve has. I'll throw a bottle of Steve.
Throw a bottle of Steve.
Yep, 13, and then, it's hit.
You look over towards the bottle. It's like an orange and red mixed liquid. As you just wing it off towards him, it splashes. You look over towards his arm. You smoke. You see a light blue fire just kind of engulfs around his arm. Just roaring pain. His axe hand starts patting it out.
I'll run to go hit him.
Your chance.
Yeah.
You run up.
20.
Oh! Man. You start running towards him. As you glance over, you see a hacked down tree. It's a real heavy stump. Jump on that with your right leg. You jump high in the air towards him, and you swing as hard as you can as your sword hits hits the bottom of his chin. As his chin then pushes into the center of his chest. And you drag your sword towards the center of his chest and you rip it open. And you see he gives a heavy roar from his face and down his chest. He starts fumbling backwards. His left hand instantly goes up and covers his chest as blood starts coming out. Oddly, this one does bleed. The other ones did not. And you see his left hand holds towards the center of his chest as he pulls up his huge axe. And starts angrily going towards you. You see Talmar jumps in the way, swings towards him. His longsword hits true towards the center of his chest, digs his long dagger towards the side of him. His axe comes down. Talmar puts together his longsword and dagger together. He blocks the axe, but the axe still hits the center of Talmar's chest and drives him to the ground. The ogre pulls up his axe again as you jump towards him.
20. Oh my gosh! Double! Oh!
You then use the same stump as you jump off of it over top of Talmar and you drive your sword directly through the center of the chest. You take a ride down it. He smashes in the ground and feel your sword driving harder into his chest as you use both your feet to kick off and push the sword out of him. Blood shoots up and sprays up in front of you. It kind of gives his final as you pull the sword out. As you look over towards Talmar and help him up. Good job, Tanik.
It's the smaller ones that lose my sword over.
You heard Drina goes, guys! As you see, she's behind a tree. That magic user is running away from her and zipping off fire from his hand. Talmar goes, I thought we were helping that guy. Firebursts are shooting off towards you guys. You see,
I'm gonna run after him. He must have found something.
Talmar goes, I thought you were right. I wonder if he went down into that temple. As you start kind of catching up, the figure stops in the grass. He holds out both his hands. He goes and shoves both of his hands in the ground. As you hear blasts come behind you, another one of these creatures emit out of the ground. He instantly attacks you. Oh! Creature grabs your armor. You feel his claws dig towards your neck and you fall to the ground. Scratches really nasty before. Talmar fighting off another one just came up behind him. You then swing towards this creature that's on you now.
13.
Your sword goes halfway through its whole center of its chest. As you hear a big blast, as you see Draina hits the ground, as you hear her kind of give a short scream. Her sword just fling off next to you, hits a rock. The cloak figure is still running.
I'm gonna pull out Theme's silver and glowing ring. I'll put it on.
As you go and just wedge it onto your finger, as you start running towards this character pretty fast. Towards the left of you, you hear looks like a dimension door whips open real quickly. It looks like the castle that's running kind of stops. Blue, like heavy lightning, kind of going back and forth. And you still keep running as you glance behind you. As you see, Poon comes out, Raphine running up very quickly behind you. This guy is just like jolting as he comes up towards a small cliff that kind of goes downward. You hear him starting to stumble downward. As you catch up to the cliff, 2 fireballs falling down the cliff. He's waving his hands and throwing these 2 bolts of fire towards you.
Whoa.
One just sears like right past you. You see the second one, feel the heat of that one. Do take some off the second one. Raphine then jolts past you. Dark purple armor jumps down towards the cliff. You see 2 lights, a green and a red light, zip. You see 2 swords jolt in the back of the guy. No questions asked. His cloak is pierced in 2 different ways. His body goes and hits the ground, pierced in the ground with both of Raphine's blades. Raphine starts falling down the cliff as he goes up to his blades. As you finally start coming down, as you hear Poon coming down behind you. He goes, "We were looking for you guys." Because we couldn't find you. We were fighting the whole time. He goes, "And who's this little booger?"
Careful, he's a wily one. Is the guy breathing still?
Raphine goes, "I don't know." He goes over towards his left arm and pulls him over and just kind of flops him off on the side. Looks like a guy with a beard. Looks human. He doesn't look pale like the other creatures on the island. He's got this heavy cloak on him, as well as he's got 2 pouches off in the front of leather armor as well.
He was casting a lot of spells. I'll see if he's still alive.
As you don't feel any pulse. Raphine goes, "Probably the fall that killed him."
I guess there goes questioning. There's a pyramid back there. We have a feeling that this guy
ran from the structure? I
think so. I think he might have been in there. And I think he has something. He cast at one of those beings.
2 of them. As you see Talmar starting to make his way down. He goes, "Yeah, Tynek."
But why were they attacking him?
Because I don't know. It was odd. You see Draina starts making her way down.
I'll start searching the guy.
You open up the pouches and look inside. You find 2 rubies. You find 2 keys that are the same color rock as the pyramid.
But here you go, Draina.
You see Draina goes, "I know it. I was going to help him too."
That cloak. Magical?
Yes.
I'll start taking it off.
You see the cloak. It seems very flowing, like, and kind of just constantly kind of moving like a little bit. As you take it off, it turns right into like a regular cloth, and it just kind of falls like nicely like in your hands.
His armor?
Decorative leather armor. You can see a small spell book. It's very small, oddly. Other spell books are like a lot bigger. This is just a small spell book. It's odd.
I'll take it.
But you don't see any like inscriptions or anything inscribed into it. It seems like an empty spell book.
Oh, really? It's completely empty.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Poon.
As he starts looking over it, it seems like there's 2 spells into this book. He goes, "But this doesn't seem like it's his normal spell book." He goes, "This is not his spell book." He goes, "But I feel the energy of possibly 2 spells in there."
I'll take it back.
Talmar goes, "I don't get it." He goes, "This is really odd. This island has been passed many times, and I've seen boats pull up here as well. I figured there's some way of trade here, maybe." He goes, "It's so close to Clearwater. Why would it be so corrupted?" Thing goes, "Well, you never know what passes through here. It could take one source of evil, corrupt an island this size."
You're okay with me using your ring for this, right?
Yeah, that's why I gave it to you.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was just like, I can't catch him.
No, because once I see the port comes up, I know it's obviously something going on. So I jump through. Because I learned that from an old friend. You see a port open, you jump through with your blades out.